Derek was not known for his brilliant ideas, but he was known for his endless supply of pranks. From taping fake spiders under toilet seats to swapping salt with sugar, his friends never knew when he would strike next. On a chilly Friday night, he decided to go bigger than usual. His roommate Kyle had a habit of staying up late watching horror movies, and Derek thought it would be hilarious to give him the scare of a lifetime. The plan was simple: hide in Kyle's closet, wait for the right moment, then jump out with a scream. In Derek's mind, it would be comedy gold. At 10 p.m., when Kyle was still in the kitchen making popcorn, Derek slipped into the closet with a mischievous grin. He left the door cracked just enough to breathe and settled in among a mess of hoodies and sneakers. He imagined Kyle's face when the monster in the closet revealed itself. He even rehearsed the growl he would use. Minutes passed. Kyle finally returned to the room, plopped down on the couch with his popcorn, and turned on the TV. The glow of the screen flickered through the narrow crack in the closet door. Derek crouched in silence, stifling laughter. But silence has a way of turning heavy. The warmth of the coats around him and the stillness of the room worked against him. At first he yawned. Then he shifted slightly, trying to stay alert. The hum of the television, Kyle's munching, and the faint smell of butter made Derek's eyelids heavy. He told himself he would stay sharp, just 5 more minutes. 5 minutes turned into an hour. His head drooped against a stack of shoeboxes, and before he knew it, Derek was asleep. Kyle, meanwhile, was deeply invested in his horror marathon. The movie's soundtrack screeched and crackled, but he barely flinched. He was used to Derek's antics and figured the guy must have gone out with friends, since he had seen him all evening. By midnight, Kyle decided to turn in. He left the empty popcorn bowl on the table, flicked off the TV, and went to bed. That was when Derek started snoring. It wasn't loud at first, just a faint, wheezy hum. Kyle, half asleep, thought the sound was part of the pipes, or maybe the neighbor's dog. But the noise grew louder, uneven, and unmistakably human. Kyle sat up in bed, his heart skipping a beat. He glanced around the dark room. The sound was coming from the closet. Suddenly, every horror movie he had ever watched flooded back to him. His imagination ran wild ghosts, intruders, cursed creatures. He grabbed the nearest object he could find for protection: a rolled-up poster tube. It was hardly a weapon, but it made him feel braver. Carefully, he tiptoed toward the closet, each step making the floor creak. The snoring continued, oblivious. He reached for the handle, sweat on his palms. In one swift motion, he yanked the door open. It was Derek curled up like a cat, one shoe as his pillow. Drool on his cheek, snoring away. Kyle blinked, stunned. He poked Derek with the poster tube. Dude, what the heck? Derek jerked awake, confused. Huh? Where am I? He rubbed his eyes, then realized with horror what had happened. His grand prank had turned into an accidental nap. Kyle burst out laughing. You were hiding in my closet? For what? Bedtime? No, Derek stammered, scrambling to save face. I was gonna prank you, man. Like, jump out and scare you. Yeah, Kyle said, still laughing. Real scary. Nothing terrifies me like a snoring monster. Derek groaned, dragging himself out of the closet. His back ached from sleeping against the shoeboxes, and his hair was sticking up at odd angles. The prank had failed spectacularly. Word spread quickly among their friends. By the next morning, everyone in their circle knew about the closet incident. They teased Derek relentlessly, nicknaming him Nap Monster. Whatever, someone even drew a cartoon of him, curled up in the closet with little ZZZ symbols floating above his head. Derek tried to defend himself. I was supposed to scare him. I just accidentally dozed off. But no one let him live it down. From then on, whenever Derek bragged about his prank skills, Kyle would smirk and say, "Careful, or he'll fall asleep in your closet." It wasn't the ending Derek had imagined, but in a way, the prank backfired so hard it became legendary. Instead of being remembered as the guy who scared his roommate, he became the guy who hid in a closet and took a nap. And strangely enough, that turned out to be funnier than the prank itself.